Alright guys, it's Jonathan with One Big Impact. Coming here from the Allsop residence, right in the carport. It's a mess, I know, trust me. Check this out. So, today we're installing a boat radio. Got speakers there, and we got some speakers on the other side. Even a little box out of the seat here. Now, don't mind the mess. I know it's pretty bad. So I had a little bit of a dilemma. I couldn't figure out what am I doing wrong. I couldn't get any power. I'll show you what I did wrong. So hopefully I can prevent what you did, or what for you not to do it. So basically, on this particular unit, I actually had two separate wiring harnesses here. Now I'll show you if I can. So this top wiring harness, the purple, green, gray, and whites are all positive negatives, straight to the positive negatives on the speakers. No big deal. Keep that simple. The other side, on the other hand, I have these guys. I have black, yellow, blue, and red. So I don't have an amp, and I don't have an ignition. If you had an ignition, the yellow wire is going to go wire to your ignition so that it remembers your channels and your settings and everything like that. I'm unfortunately going to have to reset those every time because I don't have that, which is fine by me. I don't care. Plug in the battery, be good to go. The red wire is going to be your positive always. So that positive needs to go to the positive terminal. Now, however you get it there, mine's real close, but the positive terminal on the battery. So the blue wire, that's basically going to be your power on amp wire. You're not going to have to worry about that if you don't have an amp. What I did, just to get rid of them, was because I don't have an amp and I don't have an ignition switch, I just went ahead and did yellow, blue, and red all to the positive terminal. Now it doesn't matter, it's not going to make a difference because two of those aren't even being used, but I just didn't want them hanging around, possibly short-circuiting with water and everything going around there. So I just made sure that it's not going to be an issue. Now the black wire. The problem wire for me was the black wire. I was under the impression that I could just ground it out, and I tried to ground it out up here on a piece of metal. Not the case at all for me. I don't know if you know another way of doing it. You possibly could. No, you have to bring that all the way back. So my black wire comes all the way up here, all the way into the negative side of the terminal on the battery. You have to complete the circuit. You got the positive over here and the negative over here. You have to run it all the way around. Otherwise, you're going to get no power. Now, next, make sure you buy an antenna, and you're going to have to probably buy that separate. Antenna goes here, mount it wherever. Usually it's strong enough, you just stick it in, you can probably lay it in there, no big deal. Now this, if you do have an amp or some kind of DVD player or something, this is going to be the red and white here. Those are going to be the auxiliary plugs, those are going to go off to that. But I don't have that to worry about. I did, by accident, actually install this upside down, so I'm going to have to switch that around. But I do have power. And it actually sounds great. I can't boot it up because unfortunately they'll take my video off if I have power going to it. But you can see everything's working. Works really good. I'm actually really happy. I'm trying to think of anything else. I'm going to kind of keep this area in here. I think it's important that you protect this from water somehow. Now in my case, it is inside this compartment. I cut out this little hole here. I don't have to silicone because right here with the kit that I bought, it actually has a rubber seal in there, a gasket, that keeps it nice and dry. And then on all of these, I did do wire nuts, but I also made sure that you have electrical tape around that, just, you know, because of the condensation and stuff. My boat doesn't get real wet, but just in case. I will trim these wires up and make sure they're out of the way and make sure everything's good to go with that. But other than that, I think that's just about it. If you guys have any questions, maybe you have a different type of head unit that you're configuring, always right away, if you're having a trouble, you're not getting power to your unit, check two things right away. Check your ground, check your power, and check your fuse. Maybe when you were connecting something, and always make sure these are not connected when you're wiring. The battery is the absolute last thing you need to ever do. Don't touch that battery until this whole fiasco is complete. I can't stress that enough, because we don't want you to arc it. We don't want you to blow your head unit. And this is a fairly inexpensive head unit. Some people are spending $500, $600, $800, $1,000. You don't want to blow that. You might get lucky and you might blow the fuse. Always check that too. But if you're not dealing with power, you're not going to have any of that problem. So just make sure nothing's connected to a power source while you're doing any of your wiring. And again, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. This is Jonathan with One Big Impact. And please like, comment, share, and subscribe our videos. Thanks, guys. You rock.